We are now joined by Arturo Sandoval. Arturo will be performing this Friday and Saturday at Scullers Jazz Club in Boston. Tickets are available at scullersjazz.com. Arturo, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. You know, I love Scholar. I love that place, man. Always, we got a great time there. It's a wonderful place and an incredible audience that really enjoy and you know, really understand the kind of music they came to hear, you know, and they made us feel very well every time we go there, man. Every time.
These shows in Boston are being billed as Dizzy Gillespie Centennial Tribute Shows. 2017.
That's correct.
Yeah, 2017 would have been his 100th birthday.
That's correct. He was born in October 21st, 1917.
Oh, it's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, very soon.
What do you have planned to celebrate his music for the show?
You know what? I don't have any specific plan for to celebrate that because every single gig I do in my life is always he's always involved heavily, you know, in the music I play, and I try to keep his legacy as much as I can. You know, he's my hero, my mentor, and the first jazz musician I ever heard in my life, and his influence in my life is beyond music, you know, and I really, you know, I've been playing his music as far as I can remember, you know.
Would you say that Dizzy is what drew you to the trumpet originally?
Actually, no. That's no. When I started playing in my village where I grew up, in the middle of the countryside of the island of Cuba, and I started playing traditional Cuban music, you know, and then later on I went to school to get a classical training. But so far I was playing for quite a number of years. I never heard any jazz at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then some journalist, by the way, he played for me an album. He asked me, "Hey, you ever hear jazz music?" I said, "No, what's that?" I said, "Come with me." And then he played for me a vinyl, you know, a big 33.3.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, listen to this." And then he played for me an album, a compilation of recording from the 40s, of course, of Dizzy and Charlie Parker.
Wow.
Man, that was it. That turned my head upside down. And I still trying to figure it out what those people were playing, you know.
Great stuff.
Oh, my goodness, the best. I am a huge fan of bebop. I strongly believe that if you are a solid bebop player, nothing going to stop you.
You met and began performing with Dizzy in the early 1980s.
Actually, no, we met in May 1977. And then we played together in Havana for the very first time. And then the year after, I started to play with him in 78 until he passed away January 6, 93.
What are some of the most important lessons you learned from playing with him?
Oh, the most important one about all was his big passion and love for music. He was so enthusiastic and so, you know, he really think about and talk about and try to teach people and help people to understand music better. He was such a dedicated person to the music with all his heart, you know, and that was contagious, you know. That was something that we all learned from him, and that was a big influence in our life, you know.
A few years ago, you released a Grammy-winning tribute album for Dizzy called Dear Diz, Every Day I Think of You. What was the experience like of recording his music at that time?
Oh, you know what? That's probably one of my favorite albums ever because it's, 11 different tunes. The first 10 tunes all this is composition, but with a brand new, amazing, wonderful new arrangement, a new approach to his music, and a very creative arrangement. And I'm going to tell you something. I cannot be more proud of that album because that album has 7 nominations for Grammys and won three out of 7. That album won 3 different Grammys as an arrangement, as a, or you know, best jazz album and best big ensemble. That was and also was the #1 record in terms of airplane in all jazz stations over the country. And the last tune, which is the main title of the album, is a ballad I wrote for him, which is the name of the album. Dear Dears, Every Day I Think of You. It's a ballad I wrote and dedicated to him, and you know, I play that music almost every night in my gigs, you know.
I saw you perform a couple of years ago at the Newport Jazz Festival. And I remember you said on stage that growing up you had always dreamed of performing there. What is it about that particular venue that is so special?
It's a big festival, you know. It's open air. The view of the place, I mean, the scenery is wonderful because it's outside, and a lot of people come every year. And then you see the water in the back, and it's like a marina with boats and yachts and thing, and it have that kind of vibe, and you know, like it's very inspired. The scenery, the place itself, you know, it's wonderful.
It's a beautiful venue.
It's beautiful.
It must be great being backstage and being able to mingle with so many other jazz musicians as well.
Absolutely, I always enjoy, you know, watching other artists, and we always learn from each other. You know, it's important to pay attention to other performers. You know.
In 2013, President Barack Obama presented you with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Describe to me receiving that honor and being able to perform for the president himself.
Yeah, no, I played in the White House several times over the years, but to receive that medal, of course, is an immense honor for me. You know, it's the biggest award that a U.S. government could give to a civilian. You know, and it's such a privilege and an honor for me, and I really keep it very close to my heart, of course.
You have more tour dates set up for the rest of this year around the U.S. Apart from touring extensively, are there any new albums you're excited about?
I'm very excited because we're almost finishing the mixing of my next project, which is a duet album. It's a first time I'm going to do a duet album with singers.
Interesting.
Yes, and we're all by the end of the whole process. And I'm very, very excited. I'm so grateful because a group of amazing, great artists say yes, and we recorded already everybody, you know.
Who are some of the singers you're going to be performing with on the album?
Oh, there's we got Pharrell Williams, George Groban, Plácido Domingo, Stevie Wonder, Frida from the group ABBA. It's going to be 11 tracks, you know, with great artists, and I'm extremely happy about it.
When can we expect that album to be out?
No idea, but I hope before the end of the year. That's my hope.
It's a pretty great lineup.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm blessed.
Are you performing their original material or your own original material or collaborations?
Mostly of them, they are tunes that people can, you know, relate it or identify them. And yeah, mostly of them, they're tunes, you know, that I made famous.
Some of their more famous songs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll all be looking forward to that. As I mentioned,
Beautiful.
Arturo will be performing this Friday and Saturday at Scullers Jazz Club in Boston. Arturo, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me this evening.
My pleasure. I hope you come to the show.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.